I'm Lamitschka, and today I present you Derek Sholl. Derek, country music has many new fans in Europe who might be hearing about you for the first time. So how would you describe yourself and the music you are playing to someone who never heard you or saw you before?
Well, if you're talking about a live show, my best description, if I had to use one word, would be energy, up-tempo. A live show is pretty rocking. I'm not the kind of guy who just stands behind the microphone and just sings and plays guitar. I like to move around stage and interact with the crowd and interact with my bandmates. So energy, you can expect to have some serious energy on stage.
What's the difference between your last and your new single?
Single? Well, the new single is a ballad, and the last single here was kind of sort of a power ballad, I guess you would call it. It wasn't really an up-tempo song, sort of a mid, but the new single is definitely a ballad. It's a story song that has a great message to it. It's a tough love message, and it was written by Tim Johnson and Joe Doyle, and these are two prolific songwriters here in Nashville. And it's one of those songs that when I heard it for the very first time, I just I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the lyrics, and the first line really reaches out and grabs you. So it was something that I knew I could get behind and relate to, and we went into the studio and kind of cut it on a whim. It was a real quick situation and decision for us, but we love the finished product. It's awesome, so it's out now. We're pushing it hard.
Cool. So, what kind of songs do you like to record most?
What kind of songs do I like to record most? Well, I'm a fan of the ballads, but yeah, I guess if you're talking about recording music, I guess the ballads are my favorite to record. Talking about performing live, I like to go with the up-tempo, honky-tonk and beer-drinking songs. But yeah, the slower, more touching songs.
So, what's your favorite song among all the songs you've recorded, and what's the story behind it?
My favorite song. There's a song on the album called One More Round that is a song that I co-wrote, and the story behind it is kind of funny. I was just hanging out watching the Rocky movie one day, The Rock, and Rocky was talking to his son about how it just takes a certain person when they hang out to get back up and start to keep fighting. And so that song was influenced by that movie, and he even mentioned that phrase in there, "One more round," during the clip that I was watching. So I just thought, well, that'd be a cool hook for a song, and we went out and we wrote that one quickly. I mean, it was just something that was cool, and it's a story about getting up and fighting when you're down and out.
We talked so much about the singles you released. What's about the album? So how many songs on the album, and what inspired you by the title of the album?
Well, actually, we are not locked into the title of this new album yet. Before we made the switch and recorded the new single, But It Was, the title of the album was Here, which was the last single. And we've made a few changes since then, and we're actually going to be taking a couple of songs off the old album. I like to call it the old album and the new album, but it's really the same album. We haven't released this one yet. It's still a work in progress, but we're taking 2 songs off here, and we're putting 2 new songs on the current album that is hopefully going to be released in early spring. And we're a little unsure of what the title of the album is going to be. It may be What It Was, maybe just a self-titled release. Not quite sure yet.
How much creative control do you have over your music?
A lot. We are fully independent. Everything that we do is done within a team of private investors, and that's one of the advantages of not being on a major record label, is being able to choose and write the songs that you record and put on your album. So we have a lot of creative control. I mean, pretty much full creative control.
Do you have any interesting story about how fans have been affected by your music?
Friends?
Fans.
Oh, fans. How fans have been affected by my music. Well, I get a lot of interesting messages on my personal email, my MySpace, and there's certain songs that have touched people in a certain way, and there's one story in particular. There's a song called called You Never Know How Soon It's Going to Be Too Late. And this was on my old album, but it was a kid that was sort of abandoned by his father at a young age. He was in a wheelchair, and the story talks about, you know, you never know how soon it's going to be too late. You know, you better get in there and mend the problems that you're having with your family, or else they could be gone before you know it. Well, he wrote me a long letter saying that song in particular inspired him to get back in touch with his father after, you know, 10 years of not seeing or hearing from him. So that was really neat to be able to, you know, make an impact on somebody's life like that. You know, here he is, you know, reuniting with his father after 10 years because he heard that song. It's pretty cool.
So, who do you look up musically, and how deep do your musical roots run?
I'm sorry, who do I what?
Okay, who do you look up musically, and how deep do your musical roots run?
Who do I look at musically?
Yes.
Like, who influences me?
Yes.
Well, I've been influenced by really all types of music, not just country music. I grew up listening to a wide variety of music, a lot of rock and roll. I've probably been listening to country music for a little over 20 years now, but some of my deeper influences go way back into the 70s, like the James Taylors and Jim Croce, Elton John, singer-songwriters like that. Some of my country influences, I have to say, would be, I started listening to Randy Travis. It was one of the first guys that I got into when I was getting into the country music scene. Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, George Strait, I mean, the big stars. But these days, you know, I'm a big fan of Jamie Johnson and Justin Moore, a couple of the new guys that are up and coming. So yeah, I get a little bit of influence from just about everybody I see. Every time I sit down and do a show with somebody, something about them, you know, might inspire me in a certain way.
Okay. Many European fans travel to Nashville for CMA Music Festival, better known as Fanfare always, because of the opportunity to see so many of their favorite stars at the same time. Will you playing at Fanfare, and where will fans find you?
Actually, I won't be performing at Fanfare as far as I know it right now, but the European fans might be able to come in and see me. I'm going to be going overseas in May, and I'm doing an Armed Forces entertainment tour. I don't know if the public is going to be allowed to come into these shows, but we are visiting 4 stops in Germany, and 3 in Italy, and 2 in Egypt. We're going to be over there, so if there's an opportunity for some of the fans to come over there and check out a show, that's where they can go.
And if they don't have the chance to come to the concerts, where can they find more information about you? Well,
I have a website, DerekSholl.com, DerekSholl. A lot of people throw a C in my name, but there's no C in the last name. I also have a MySpace page where there's music. My music's available on iTunes. My current CD is available still on my website, so that's where you can come check out the music, and it's available there to purchase.
Thanks for the interview, Derek.
You're welcome. Thank you.